Hello and welcome everyone to our webinar series, one of many, but today we'll be discussing over the next 15 or 20 minutes the 5 stages of IT asset management. I am joined today with my teammate, Jack Guida. My name is Mel Ryder. We're both here in the sales department at Computer Care. Just so everybody has a level set of who Computer Care is, we are a leading provider of IT asset management and lifecycle services. Since 2004, we've helped organizations optimize their technology investments from procurement all the way through secure disposal. We are authorized repair provider and reseller of all leading OEMs and provide seamless management for both on-site and remote first organizations.
Mel, thank you. I'm going to talk about the benefits of IT asset management. When you manage assets properly throughout their life cycle, you are going to experience some cost savings. And it's really about extending the value and the life of assets where you'll see the biggest cost savings. You'll also have an enhanced security by reducing vulnerabilities and protecting data on assets. You are also going to be compliant and meet audit compliance by maintaining an accurate IT asset management database. You're going to improve productivity for your end users and your internal IT team by keeping technology performing at its best. And we're going to talk about the 5 stages, but really it's around forming a continuous cycle with each retired asset being replaced by a new one.
Thanks, Jack. I'm going to go through quickly the 5 stages of IT asset management, and then over the next few slides, we'll kind of get into each one in more detail. But this is a continuous cycle. It's not linear process at all. And, planning and procurement may start at the first stage of this process, but it can also live after, a refresh and upgrade project. That first stage is planning and procurement. The second stage is acquisition and deployment. The third is operations and maintenance. The fourth is refresh and upgrade. And the fifth is disposal and retirement.
For stage one, planning and procurement, the first step is to define technology requirements and align them with the business objectives. So, which roles are you hiring and which spec or, which OEM do you want to procure to suit that role? You're then going to research vendors and compare different solutions that they have. From there, you're going to analyze the total cost of ownership, and then you're going to hopefully negotiate contracts and establish some standardization in policies. Our tip here is to really make the hardware models as few as possible, and same with the software platforms to truly reduce complexity and also support cost savings.
Stage two is acquisition and deployment. So, a pretty important stage. Some of the key activities involved in this stage include physically receiving and inspecting the new equipment, whether that be laptops or all in one devices or mobile phones, and making sure, what condition they're in. Taking note of the serial number, the purchase date. This becomes relevant for tracking warranty. And warranty is something that you want to consider before you deploy a device. Say the device has 3 or 6 months left on its warranty. Is that really the right device to be redeploying out to an individual end user? Or would it make sense to deploy a newer device with more warranty time? Maybe make a decision to retire something that's closer to the warranty date. And then you'll want to configure the devices and install all required software. And maybe that's, differs by role type or contingent workers. And then assigning the individual assets to that user or department so you can track that device throughout its life cycle and ensure, when an employee is termed, what device needs to be collected back. And the computer care tip in this stage is to invest in an asset management database from the get-go because you need to have a robust set of records to make sure that the value of the asset is maintained throughout its life cycle.
Stage three is operations and maintenance. So the key activities here are to ensure that you're applying all software updates and security patches, not just at the time of deployment, but throughout the life cycle, and ensuring that the users keep up to date with software updates and security patches as well. From there, you want to be proactive to perform any hardware maintenance or repairs, and to really, to Mel's point, make sure that you are, repairing devices that are in warranty versus out of warranty. In addition to that, monitoring performance and making sure that the right roles have the right specs to improve and optimize the performance of those roles and the devices. And then also making sure that you have a help desk support channel for users who need help, whether they've broken their device or they need help with troubleshooting. And then you're going to want to make sure you track license and compliance and conduct regular audits to ensure that you're not paying for software or licenses that you're not using. Our tip here is to implement an automated patch management and monitoring tool to reduce the manual workload that it can have to monitor all of these key activities, and as well as improve the security posture of the organization.
Stage four, refresh and upgrade. Some of the key activities involved in this stage include assessing the asset performance and remaining useful life. So, what we mean by this is, again, kind of going back to the example I gave earlier, is if a end user is terminated, they've had their device for say 2.5 years, and the device has an extended warranty of 3 years. Assessing if that 6 month of warranty time is valuable device to deploy out to the end user, or maybe it makes sense to repair that device and get the value through a buyback situation in disposal or disposition, and also identifying security risks from outdated technology and to plan for true replacement cycles and budget for upgrades. I think that it varies across our different customer base. Some people have very loose refresh policies internally, mainly driven by the end user, and a lot of end users do feel some sort of attachment to their device and are reluctant to refresh, which ends up leading to devices being deployed for maybe longer outside of their warranty cycles, and puts refresh in more of a reactive state rather than proactive state. So if you are being reactive, you're not able to truly budget or plan for those refresh or upgrades. So we always urge our customers to make sure that they have a defined refresh cycle. This is the Computer Care pro tip. Around 3 or 4 years, I think, is really that sweet spot, where you're maintaining with the latest technology as well as getting the most value out of a disposition cycle, which, spoiler alert, is going to be stage five.
Stage five is disposal and retirement. And the key activities here are ensuring that you use certified wiping methods and the devices that are end of life are physically destroyed in the proper manner. You're then going to want to ensure that you remove those serial numbers or those asset records from your inventory management systems. And a really big piece here is to make sure that the vendors you choose are recycling the devices responsibly. You're then going to want to document disposal for compliance purposes. A lot of vendors in the space will provide that data for you. So it's one of the key things to look out for from a documentation standpoint, is if they have a portal for you to track which assets they have you've given them that are in fact end of life. And then hopefully at the end of this, you'll recover some residual value through the ITAD vendor or end of life vendor that you work with, to get some of the money back for the devices that you pass over to them. Our tip here is to never skip the data sanitization piece and work with a destruction vendor who does provide certificates of destruction to protect against data breaches and any potential fines that may occur. Why choose Computer Care for your IT asset management needs? The first thing is we really specialize in a full life cycle solution, guiding you through all five stages with proven best practices that we've learned over the last 20 years of being in this space. In addition to that, we are an Apple authorized repair provider, as well as some of the largest PC brands, Lenovo, Dell, Toshiba, Acer, Asus, and we're also authorized to sell those assets as well. So you can buy new equipment directly through us. We do have a heavy focus on cost optimization, and that is through repair versus replacing assets. Anytime a device comes to us, we hopefully repair it in warranty. And if we can't, we tell you the cost to repair for you to make that decision. And in addition, we really focus on security and compliance and protecting your data. We don't ask you for any passwords, and will never need to log in or access data on the device. And in addition to that, all assets that are at our facility are securely stored under video surveillance and badge access. And then we do have an industry standard end of life management solution as well. We do the data destruction on our end, but we work with a partner of your choosing or a recommended partner of that we work with often to provide end of life recycling as well as end of life buyback. So whether you're establishing an IT asset management program or improving on an existing one, we have the expertise to help you deliver the maximum value and minimize and significantly reduce risk throughout these five stages.
Thanks, Jack. And thank you to everyone who's joined. I hope you enjoyed walking through the five stages of IT asset management. I think through this presentation, it's clear when you think of IT asset management, just initially, it sounds more along the lines of just tracking physical devices. Could be as simple as an Excel worksheet, but really, when you get into the detail of the different stages, you can optimize and drive value out of each one. On this slide here, we have included our contact information. Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn or shoot us an email directly. Our individual cell phone numbers are available as well, even if you just want to follow up on this presentation or have completely separate questions. Happy to take a call and hope to hear from you.